Last week, we discussed how, after months of persistent trolling, Democratic Governor of California, Gavin Newsom, finally got Ron DeSantis to agree publicly to debate him. But in the reporting which has occurred since then, it seems that DeSantis is doing everything in his power to rig the format in his favor. But before we unpack all that, if you haven't yet, please hit that like, subscribe, and the alert bell. Maybe check out my Patreon. I'd appreciate the support. So, there's this, I think, conventional wisdom, this notion that debating is a skill of conservatives and conservatives alone, right? You think of people like Ben Shapiro and Michael Knowles and people like that who have popularized the debate bro aesthetic. Now, it's been my position and the position of many others that actually the best of the Democrats is better than the best of the Republicans in terms of debate, and the best of the progressives is better than the best of conservatives in terms of debate. And so this potential debate between Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis was really going to be emblematic of that, because you're talking about the two most popular, iconic governors of the Democratic and Republican parties. And Gavin Newsom is an extraordinary debater. He's a mind for numbers. He's a data geek. He performed exceptionally well in that highly publicized and very contentious interview with Sean Hannity a couple of months ago. And he has been chasing Ron DeSantis, daring him to debate, like, hey, if you're so macho, if you're so smart, if you're so correct on the facts, and let's debate, let's hash it out in the marketplace of ideas, so to speak. And DeSantis kept ducking. And finally, Hannity got DeSantis to agree to debate Newsom. But there's been some reporting since then. And apparently, DeSantis is trying to change or propose terms of the format which would benefit him. So Politico discusses this. Newsom's team laid out their thinking in a July 28th memo in terms of their proposals, and then DeSantis' counterproposal was sent over to Hannity and Fox News. So there were some similarities. Both agree on some of the basics. Hannity is the only person who can ask questions. The debate will run 90 minutes, which is kind of surprising given that Newsom publicly said, listen, let's do 2-3 hours. I imagine much of that format is because DeSantis doesn't want to do a 2 to 3 hour debate with Newsom, but that's just my speculation. Staff can't brief either governor once they've started, and the speaking time is to be equally divided. Hannity has to make sure governors don't interrupt each other during their designated time to speak. And closing statements will be 2 minutes long, and their order will be determined by coin flip. Now, here's the differences. DeSantis proposes no opening remarks, which are kind of crucial to a debate. Each governor can instead provide a 2-minute video to make their case for governing philosophy that would air before the program begins, which is kind of strange. Why does it have to be a pre-recorded video when you can make your case for governing philosophy in an opening statement at the debate? Interesting. While Newsom proposed a mano-a-mano debate in an empty room, DeSantis wants a live audience with tickets distributed 50-50 because he wants an audience, right? He wants the jeering and the cheering and the heckling, right? Whereas Newsom is such a geek for debate, he's like, let's have it televised, yeah, but let's just have it you, me, and the moderator where we can really just go at each other based on the facts and the points and not have to like sit quietly while your people boo me and my people boo you, right? More substantive, less performative. But DeSantis, of course, being a Republican, wants performance over substance. DeSantis sent 2 location options, and this is hilarious: Georgia or Iowa, compared to Newsom's 3, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, right? So Newsom is not only offering more locations, but he's offering more quote-unquote neutral locations, right? Even though Georgia's a red state, North Carolina, it's kind of a purple state, but it's red in terms of Republican gerrymander. So it's not like the terrain would be disadvantageous to DeSantis, but DeSantis wants Iowa or Georgia, right? So solidly or red-leaning options, both. And then only one of the 3 date options DeSantis suggests lines up with the 2 that Newsom floated, Wednesday, November 8th, so go ahead and mark it down. Now, in response to this, Newsom's team was lashing out or clapping back on DeSantis. What a joke, Newsom's spokesperson Nathan Click said in a statement. DeSantis' counterproposal is littered with crutches to hide his insecurity and ineptitude, swapping opening statements with a hype video, cutting down the time he needs to be on stage, adding cheat notes in a cheering section. Ron should be able to stand on his own 2 feet, he added. It's no wonder that Trump is kicking his ass. So, folks, I love this energy from Gavin Newsom. I really do. And this is one of the things that I wish Democrats would just adopt more consistently. You can do it without being, just like fascistically cruel like the Republican Party's aggressors often are. You can be assertive and confident and just like, intimidating in that respect. And the way that Newsom clearly intimidates DeSantis. The fact that it took this long to even agree to a debate, even though DeSantis is constantly challenging others to a debate. I mean, he even recently tried to get Vice President Kamala Harris to come down to Florida and debate him over the recent scandal about curriculum, the apology of slavery in the Florida curriculum. And meanwhile, Newsom's been chasing DeSantis for months and months and months. I mean, I'm inclined to agree that, why do you need a cheering section? Why do you need cheat notes? Why do you need a hype video like you're some sort of celebrity instead of just making the case yourself and opening remarks? DeSantis is clearly looking to try to maximize performance out of this and get as much help as possible. He's clearly not secure in his ability or his confidence to take on Newsom. And by the way, as we discussed in a previous video, other conservatives feel the same way. Even on, it was either Real America's Voice or Newsmax, even their correspondents are like, this isn't a good idea. DeSantis may win, but probably not, and this doesn't do him any favors. So I think most people recognize that if this comes down to substance, Newsom will absolutely crush Ron DeSantis. So I'm hoping they can agree to something because I would love to see this debate.